After 15 years of silence, a woman received a wedding invitation from the sister who once destroyed her life. The sister invited her for only one reason: to humiliate her again in front of hundreds of guests. But the moment the quiet woman entered the wedding hall, the groom suddenly turned pale. His hands began to tremble. He stared at her and whispered in shock, "No, this can't be real." Because the woman everyone mocked as the ugly sister was the same stranger who had saved his life 2 years earlier. And in that moment, the entire wedding began to fall apart. Welcome to the channel Life in Stories. Before we begin, tell us in the comments where you're watching from. And now, sit back, relax, because today's story is about family betrayal, humiliation, and a truth that no one expected. The letter had been sitting on the hallway table for 3 days. Lisa didn't dare open it. A white envelope, gold embossed edges, and the handwriting of a sister she had not seen for 15 years. Finally, after a long day working at the small city library, Lisa sat at her kitchen table, poured herself a cup of tea, and slowly opened the envelope. Inside was a wedding invitation. "Dear Lisa, I'm getting married, June 15th at Pinewood Estate. I can't imagine this day without you. You are my only sister. Please come. With love, Nadia." Lisa stared at the words for a long time. Then she whispered quietly, "Love?" Nadia had never loved her. They grew up under the same roof, but in completely different worlds. They shared the same father, but had different mothers. Lisa's mother died when she was only 2 years old. Soon after, their father remarried, a beautiful woman named Irina, and soon Nadia was born. From that moment, Lisa became a stranger in her own home. Nadia grew up like a princess: golden hair, bright blue eyes, perfect skin, graceful movements. Everyone admired her. She danced at school events, sang in the choir, and had dozens of friends. Teachers adored her, boys admired her, and her mother treated her like a queen. Lisa was the complete opposite: dark, messy hair, thick glasses, shy posture. She tried to make herself invisible. Books became her only escape. While Nadia shined in the spotlight, Lisa disappeared into quiet corners. Her room filled with novels and old pages, where no one mocked her, no one judged her. The worst day happened when Lisa was 21 years old. She had finally fallen in love: a quiet university student named Dmitri. They met in the library. He was kind, intelligent, and he liked Lisa for who she was. For the first time in her life, Lisa felt beautiful. Then came Nadia's birthday party. Their father insisted the family celebrate together. Lisa arrived with Dmitri, wearing a simple dress she had sewn herself, but Nadia had already noticed them. Her eyes sparkled with jealousy. When Lisa stepped away for a moment, Nadia approached Dmitri. She smiled, touched his arm, and suddenly kissed him, right in front of everyone. The room exploded with laughter. Nadia looked directly at Lisa and said loudly, "Lisa, did you really think a guy like him would choose you? Look at yourself. You're ugly." Even their stepmother joined the mockery, and Lisa's father said nothing. That night, Lisa packed a small backpack and left forever. 15 years passed. Lisa built a quiet life. She became a librarian, then the head of the library. No relationships, no drama, only books and her old cat. Until one day, that wedding invitation arrived.
Lisa knew exactly why Nadia invited her. Not out of love, not for family, but for humiliation. Nadia always loved being the center of attention, and Lisa was the perfect contrast: the unlucky sister, the quiet one, the one who never succeeded. Lisa imagined the whispers already. Look at the bride, and look at her sister. At that same moment, Nadia stood in a luxury bridal salon, spinning happily in front of a giant mirror. Her wedding dress was perfect: long white train, pearls shining in the fabric. She laughed while speaking on the phone with her friend. I invited Lisa. Yes, that Lisa. It will be perfect. Everyone will see how successful I became and how she stayed the same. In the next room waited her fiancé, a tall, confident man named Artyom, successful businessman, calm, serious, and about 40 years old. He adjusted his suit while the wedding planner checked the schedule. He had no idea that today's wedding would soon become the most shocking day of his life. Meanwhile, Lisa stood in front of the mirror in her small apartment. In her hands was a simple dark blue dress. Nothing extravagant, nothing that would attract attention, but 15 years had changed her. She was no longer the shy girl everyone mocked. Her posture was straight, her hair soft and elegant. The glasses were gone. She looked calm and confident. For a moment, Lisa almost decided not to go, but then something unexpected happened. While organizing books in the library that afternoon, she found an old novel, Pride and Prejudice, a story about dignity and quiet strength. Lisa smiled. Maybe I can be brave too. The drive to Pinewood Estate took 3 hours. The roads stretched through forests and quiet countryside. Lisa drove alone in her old Toyota. Memories returned with every kilometer. Childhood, humiliation, and the moment she left home forever. Her hands tightened on the steering wheel, but she kept driving. Pinewood Estate was breathtaking. White columns, fountains surrounded by roses, luxury cars filled the parking lot, Mercedes, BMW, guests dressed in expensive suits and dresses. Lisa parked quietly at the far end. She stepped out of the car and took a deep breath. At the entrance hall, someone stopped her. Irina, her stepmother, the woman who had once made her childhood unbearable. Irina looked older now, but still elegant. Her eyes scanned Lisa from toe to toe. "You came," she said coldly. "I didn't think you would." Then she added quietly, "You look different." The wedding ceremony had already begun. Rows of guests sat beneath a white canopy, flowers everywhere, music playing softly. At the altar stood Nadia, radiant, confident, perfect, and beside her, Artyom, the groom. Lisa quietly sat in the last row, trying not to be noticed. But when Nadia turned, their eyes met, and Nadia smiled, a victorious smile. After the ceremony, the guests moved into the banquet hall. Champagne flowed, music played, laughter filled the room. Nadia approached Lisa dramatically. "Sister!" She hugged her tightly. Too tightly. "I'm so happy you came." Then she turned to the guests. "This is my sister Lisa. We haven't seen each other in 15 years. As Nadia spoke, Artyom looked at Lisa carefully. His expression slowly changed. Confusion, shock, recognition. His face suddenly turned pale. He stepped closer and whispered quietly, "Lisa, have we met before?" Lisa froze when she heard the groom say her name. "Lisa, have we met before?" She shook her head politely. "I don't think so." But Artyom kept staring. Something about her felt strangely familiar. Her voice, her eyes, even the calm way she stood. It reminded him of someone he had searched for 2 long years. Suddenly, a memory flashed in Artyom's mind. 2 years earlier, a rainy night, a dangerous highway accident. His car had skidded off the road and crashed into a ditch. He was injured, alone, and his phone was broken. He thought he might die there, until a woman appeared out of the darkness. She had pulled him from the wrecked car, her hands steady, her voice calm. She wrapped his wound with her blue scarf and called an ambulance. "Stay awake," she told him softly. "Help is coming." But when the ambulance arrived, the woman disappeared, without telling him her name. For 2 years, Artyom tried to find her. He placed announcements online, hired a detective, even had an artist draw a portrait from memory. But no one ever came forward. The woman who saved his life remained mystery until now, standing right in front of him. Artyom suddenly stepped closer to Lisa, his voice shaking. The accident on Highway M7 2 years ago? Blue scarf with flowers? Lisa's face slowly turned pale. She whispered quietly, "Yes, I was there." Artyom looked stunned. "It was you. You saved my life." Lisa lowered her eyes. "It was nothing. Anyone would have done the same." But Artyom shook his head. "No, not everyone stops in the middle of a storm to save a stranger. You disappeared before I could even thank you." Across the room, Nadia was watching them. At first, she looked confused, then worried, and finally terrified. Something was very wrong. Why was her groom talking to Lisa like that? Why were the guests suddenly whispering? Artyom suddenly turned toward Nadia. "You knew I was searching for the woman who saved my life. I told you everything, and you never said a word." The music stopped. The entire hall fell silent. All eyes turned toward the bride.
The wedding hall had fallen completely silent. Artyom looked directly at Nadia. "You knew I was searching for the woman who saved my life. I told you the story many times. But you never told me it was Lisa." Nadia's smile disappeared. Her face turned pale. I didn't know," she said nervously. "This must be a coincidence." But no one believed her. Before Nadia could say anything else, Lisa finally spoke. Her voice calm, but strong. 15 years ago, you humiliated me in front of everyone. You stole the man I loved, and Mother told me to leave." The room filled with whispers. Some guests began recording the moment on their phones. The beautiful wedding had turned into a family scandal. Suddenly, another voice broke the silence. Lisa's father stood up, his hands shaking. "Lisa, forgive me. I was weak. I should have protected you. For 15 years I stayed silent, but today I cannot stay silent anymore." The room became even quieter. Artyom slowly removed the wedding ring from his hand. He looked at Nadia with sadness. "I thought I was marrying a kind woman, but today I see something different. A person who enjoys humiliating others. This marriage cannot happen." Gasps filled the room. The wedding was over. For the first time in her life, Nadia looked truly broken. Tears ran down her face. "I'm sorry, Lisa. I was jealous of you. You were always stronger than me. I just didn't realize it." Lisa looked at her sister quietly. After a long moment, she stepped forward and hugged her. That night changed everything. The wedding ended quietly. Guests slowly left the hall, but something unexpected happened. For the first time in 15 years, Lisa's family finally spoke honestly. Truth replaced silence, and forgiveness replaced bitterness. Before Lisa left, Artyom approached her. "May I call you sometime? Not as Nadia's groom, but as someone whose life you saved." Lisa smiled softly. "Maybe, but next time, let's meet somewhere without wedding drama." Early the next morning, Lisa drove home. 15 years of pain had ended in a single night. Not perfectly, but honestly. Because sometimes, life is like a book, and even after many dark chapters, the ending can still bring hope.